Hey guys, I got a really cool story to tell today. It's really a fascinating story. This is a story that's been going on for about 2 to 3 years, somewhere around there. What happened was about 2 to 3 years ago, I was contacted by this lady, and she said that she was with this Marine up in Subic around 1992 when everybody was getting ready to leave and everything. And she got pregnant, and they were girlfriend and boyfriend, I guess fiance. And what happened was, she seen him off at the dock. I guess he was getting onto a ship. He was a Marine, and they kissed each other goodbye. And he was supposed to finish the fiance visa, or he had already started it or something. I'm not quite sure of that part of the story, but anyway, he got on the ship and was supposed to contact her. Never contacted her again after that, according to what I was told. Anyway, what happened was she contacts me 28 years later or whatever it was, or somewhere around there. It was, like about 2 years ago, whatever amount of time. It's been almost 30 years. It'd be 30 years this year, okay? But anyway, she was pregnant at the time. So she contacts me and she was asking me, hey, could you help me find my daughter's father? She's in her late 20s and she'd like to get in touch with him and get to know him and everything. I have a little bit of information. She handed it off to me. I started doing the research and started making some phone calls, and I managed to leave a message on his message machine. The first time it was a little bit rough. He hung up, but the second time that we spoke with each other, I think it might have even been the third time that he either called me or I called. I think he called me, and he at first was kind of, had mixed feelings about the whole situation. He says he wasn't sure whether it was his kid at first, and then later on he changed his mind and he said, I'm going to take responsibility for it. So I think he had a change of mind, and he kind of knew it was his kid, but it was just a lot of stuff going on in the situation, which I won't get into for privacy reasons or whatever. But anyway, what happened was he talked to me and he started talking to his ex-girlfriend and his daughter online through Messenger and chatting and everything. And they he became friends with his ex-girlfriend again, and they're still friendly. And he started talking with his daughter. Well, they talked for quite a while. The daughter and him and his ex-girlfriend as friends, just as friends. And what happened was, just recently, a couple days ago, his daughter was actually in San Diego, and he came up from Florida where he lives and went to meet his daughter, and got to meet his daughter for the first time in almost 30 years, okay? But the best part about it was he's got three grandchildren, okay? And he got to meet his grandchildren, and they were calling him Grampy, okay? And I just thought that was kind of a cool story, a fascinating story to tell. And, everybody kind of has a story. Not everybody, but a lot of people have a story of somebody that went missing or something like that in their family, or something happened and you got separated from somebody or whatever. And I myself even have that, my own story about that. I was this far away from meeting. My father adopted this little girl from Vietnam. She was a war orphan, and my ending is not as happy as hers. What happened was, she was getting ready to come over to the United States. My father was actually going to be the first male in Massachusetts back in the 1970s to be able to adopt a child. Okay, so what happened was that girl was supposed to be coming over, and what happened was the plane crashed, and all these war orphans were everything was mixed up. The records were mixed up. Everything was a big, huge mess. They had all the papers in with each child and whatever. And there was a few older children, and then there was infants and stuff like that. And this child was probably about 2, maybe 3 years old, didn't talk much, kind of shy. And when the plane crashed, we never heard anything. We didn't hear whether the child died, whether the child got sent somewhere else. There was a lot of confusion about the accident, but a lot of those kids ended up getting put on another plane, from what I understand, and shipped all over the country to the people that were looking for those children. But we had that one specific child that we wanted, and my father had a picture of her, and we could never find out what happened to her. So it's kind of like a very sad story, you know, and I myself was, I think I was around 13 years old at the time. I was looking forward to really having a sister, you know, like, and it was kind of devastating to me to have, you know, that happen. I mean, I had a sister already, and I had another sister too. So I had two sisters already, but they were already, you know, I had one sister live with my mother and one sister that was married at the time. So it would have been nice because I was kind of like the only child in the house at the time. So I really, really wanted to have that happen. And it would have been cool having like a foreign sister. You know, as a kid, you think, oh, wow, this is going to be cool. But it never happened. It never happened. And years later, I found out that a lot of those kids lived, but they were mixed up and confused and sent all over the place. And recently, a couple of years ago, I got in touch with this gentleman that was actually on the plane and actually knew that little girl. Okay. And he said that he thought that he saw her after the plane crash. Okay. Now, I was on Facebook and I was talking to him at the time, and Facebook took me down, said I was spamming people when I was helping them do claims for veterans. I was helping veterans do claims on there and sending them information by video. So I guess they didn't like that, and they closed my channel down, and they took off all my friends, and I could never find that link again. I couldn't find any of that information again or anything about that plane crash. But that guy that I was talking to was my link, and he said he was going to try to help me find out where she went because he had some information, and he said he thinks she went to Colorado, and that's all the information I had. And then Facebook took me down, unfortunately. But anyway, that was the end of that story. So not all these things come out with a good ending, and unfortunately mine didn't. And I was never able to tell my father what happened either way because my father passed away, obviously, and she would have been, you know, I don't know how old now. She'd be like close to my age or whatever, you know, because that was back in 75, 76, somewhere around there. So, I mean, she'd be pretty old right now. You know, she'd be 40, 47 maybe, somewhere around there. 47, 48. I'm just guessing, but I mean, probably somewhere around there. And I'd just like to find out if she's still alive, you know, just to see if she's still here and just say hi. And, you know, it'd be kind of cool touching bases with her and tell her that we were the original family that tried to adopt her, you know, even if she did get another adopted family or whatever. But it was kind of sad that we were never able to, you know, connect with her or whatever. But this ended up to be a good story, and fortunately for them, and I'm really happy for them that ended that way. And it was kind of a cool story, and I just want to share it with you guys because we do a lot of things at the channel here that sometimes you guys don't see, you know, and with a lot of the money that we make from ads and stuff like that. And that's why I asked you guys if you can watch the ads. It helps the channel, and it helps pay for my time and traveling around and doing things to help expats here. It's not about me. I don't make this channel about me. I make it about other people, and a lot of that money, like I said, goes out and helps other people. We help poor people. We help people in the streets. And some I use for myself too. You know, I do use some of it for myself, but I would say about half of it probably goes out to helping other people, fortunately. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care.